Worthing should change and right.
Can't swivel, I'm eating. Genius. Tiny bites. The chip will keep you dry. That felt mean and intentional.
It's Monday. Play this song because, I'm getting hyped. Gonna be in London soon. Gotta set the mood, huh? Gotta set the mood. How are we doing, folks? All right, we got a lot to go over today. Stroking my shit to Cooper Flagg highlights and smoking weed. All right. There you go. Season your food while you still can. Come on now. Shay ring and you'll never see me online again. Well. Start calling your internet provider. Do you think the first round should be 5 or more rest? Good question, and I'm actually happy you asked me that because it just reminded me I wanted to talk about Aaron Gordon's quotes. Live reaction to Jason Kidd DLLS interview. When is that happening? I mean, if there's interesting clips from that, that's Jason Kidd's never been like a great interview. Is that happening right now? When do they go live? 1? 12? I mean, probably not, honestly. I'll be on the lookout for clips, though. Do we want to see Brunson get a ring or the start to a dynasty with OKC? Well, I guarantee you I know chat's answer to that question. Did you see the Najee pod? I saw clips of it. So I guess it's not even an unpopular opinion. This is a very popular opinion. But I guess my thing is like player podcasts are usually so boring. Honestly. You're going to be a Cali boy in 2 weeks? You're moving to Cali? Is that what you're saying? Or you're going to be in California? I do not want the OKC fans winning. Every time I go to a Mavs Thunder game in OKC, they always shit on me. Long vacay. Nice. How long? I'm cool with every single team left winning. Like, I thought that about the second round, too. It was kind of this rare thing. And I'm going to be on some hater shit, guys. 2 days? You're gonna be in Cali for 2 days? Oh. And I'm gonna be on some hater shit, and I don't really give a shit. The one team, just for me personally, I did not want to see win it all this year was the Lakers. Okay? Going into it. That's just the truth. Now, I know you guys are gonna say, wait, did Slightly Lakers get a grip on reality? Get a grip on reality. But honestly though, I wouldn't have been mad if they won it. You don't want Mini winning? Why is that? Is it just an ant thing, or I like Mini, OKC, and Indy. I want the Knicks to win. This is going to be fantastic. I can't wait. We're going to talk about that, obviously. Apple Card transaction. What is this? A daily cash adjustment. What's daily cash adjustment mean? Sally, can you give your input on Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark saga? Oh. Do I have to? Remind me, because I actually kind of wanted to talk about that. Remind me. Remind me once we start getting going. You had a return, so you took some cash back? Oh, is that what that is? Morning, Slightly. What's going on in your liberal life today? I can't believe that tweet. I can't believe that tweet. I got yesterday. I tweeted out about Aaron Gordon's hamstring, which again, I stand by. That I thought it was a stupid ass decision to let him play on what was reported to be a grade 2 hamstring strain. Now, maybe it wasn't a grade 2 one, but. And for some reason, that tweet has 2 million views. I really don't know. Twitter's just the weirdest place. 2 million views, 17,000 likes, and everyone in the replies is calling me a liberal. Slightly, please slap me. Guys, you'll never guess who fucking sent this. They're calling me a liberal in the replies. Folks, is it liberal to not want to play on a hamstring strain? All right, here we go. We haven't done this in a while. Let's see it for Rusty. Great. Okay. Hippo. Wow, that was actually ended up being a pretty good guess. Oh my God, I forgot about the fucking P. Okay, so there's a T. Pitch. Come on, baby. Easy. Easy money. Easy money. We're just cruising through this game now. These games we've mastered. Let's just cruise through connection. Benefit. Okay, we got railroad. My type of connections, baby. Come on. Gala, benefit, ball. Ooh. Ball. Function. Fundraising event. Got that. Ball, blubber. We got fluke. Dallas Mavericks finals run. No, I'm just joking, guys. I'm just joking. Toe. Railroad. What could railroad be? Railroad. Avenue, railroad. Chance. Take a chance, take a chance, take a chance. Utility. Waiting for something to click here. Melon. Let's maybe think about melon. What do we think about melon? Melon. Melon head. Melon fruit. Melon watermelon. Water. Nope. Fluke. Chance. Those could be connected. No. This one's fucking hard, guys. Flipper. Am I missing something? Flipper. Ball. Heel. I mean, what? I'm missing something, guys. It feels like there's some weird fuckery afoot. Like there's definitely got to be some type of spelling thing here. Replace the E with an O or something like that. Like something that's stupid. I'm about to look in the chat. Soul. Heel. I don't think those are connected. I just don't. I gotta say, I just don't. Utility. Avenue. Let's go down the avenue. Austin Avenue. I'm looking in the chat. I'm lying. Wait, what? You guys better not be fucking around with me, bro. I honestly, guys, that's a little fucked up what you're doing in the chat. Let's all start chatting about how much we enjoy his content. He'll never read it. Unbelievable. You scared me for a little bit there. Wait, I didn't even think about a potential monopoly. Avenue, railroad. Honestly, I don't play Monopoly a lot. What is it? What's the monopoly? Soul, heel, toe, ball, parts of the foot. Wow. You want to know something? That's exactly what it is. You knew that there was some homophones parts of the foot. You knew there was going to be some stupid shit in this grouping. Railroad, utility, avenue, chance should all be monopoly. Okay. Oh, flipper, blubber, melon, fluke. Features of a toothed whale. That makes sense. That one is kind of hard, huh? Dude, that was impressive, Fletcher. That was impressive. That was kind of a difficult one. I mean, if I had known the Monopoly one, I feel like we could have got there. But you knew it was going to be something stupid. Ball, heel, soul, toe. Yeah, wow. All right. Yeah, that was a more difficult one. That was a difficult one. All right. Here we go. Let's get into it. We got a lot to talk about and a lot to discuss. Where should we start? Let's just start with the conference finals and then we'll just move our way from there. It's funny how this is probably the easiest connection for me. I've struggled with ones you flew through, though. Really? Well, if you knew the Monopoly one, the fundraising event was easy. If you knew the Monopoly one, I think you could have got there with the ones left. I think you could have been like, oh, this is a whale thing. Blubber, flipper. But I didn't know Monopoly, the Monopoly one. So, good morning, folks. It's Monday. It's May 19th, 10:59 a.m. Central Standard Time. We have reached that point in the season. The conference finals are here. We know our 4 finalists. It's an exciting time for a lot of different reasons. One, of course, we're only a month or so away from crowning a new champion in the NBA. But beyond that, it's the first time in league history that we'll have 7 years of new champions. This, according to our friend Mark Stein, essentially official now. The NBA will have a 7th different champion in the span of 7 seasons for the first time in league history. So no repeat champions, obviously, but also that means no team has won twice in the last 7 years, which is kind of insane when you think about it. The fact that we haven't even had one team win 2 titles in 7 years. And if you were really to take it back to 2014, if you were to go over a decade, the Warriors are the only team that have won multiple titles over that stretch. It really is kind of insane. The era of dynasties are over. Yeah, I mean, what's y'all's takeaway from that? I'm interested. It's funny because forever, basketball was the least amount of parity in sports. That's what you would say. Basketball is the least amount of parity in any sports. And now we've reached a point where it probably has the most parity of any American sport, at least in terms of who wins championships. Now, that's not to say you get into the playoffs and any team can win. That's not really how it works still. But it is crazy that every year, I like it, but the NBA thrives off villains and dynasties. I agree. I think we're probably in need of one of those. I think a product of the CBA for sure. I think the league's just deeper and more talented. And I also think a big reason for it, too, is we've sort of weeded out the idiots. I think that's a big thing. We've sort of weeded out the idiots. We've weeded out the stupid fucking front offices that used to exist quite a bit. There used to be 7 or 8 horrible front offices that you knew that you could just, rip off at any given moment and had no chance of being successful. All but one. I mean, even that one just made the finals. Matt with the 499. If it comes to it, how do we feel about the Pacers' speed and ball movement versus OKC athleticism? We'll talk about that here in a bit, but potential finals matchups. Paul with the $5. There's a very good chance that the 2024 finalists will both be completely different come 25-26. Yeah, I mean, the Mavs for sure will be. The Celtics, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't care about peak viewership. If you watch a lot of games, dynasties are less fun. I think there's a world for dynasties. I think dynasties can be fun. I think dynasties can be, it's just sort of this collective, we're rooting against this one team. We all hate this one team. We don't want to see this one team win. It could be fun, They're engaging. I don't care about peak. Oh, I literally just read that. So that's interesting to me. All of these teams. Now, here's where I'll say about the dynasty thing. When it reached Warriors level, where it was there's no point in playing the games, that's when it becomes a little less fun. When there's a pathway for another team to win, when you can imagine other teams winning, when you can squint and say, yeah, this team's going to win or that team's going to win, that's when it becomes more fun. Chiefs are a perfect example. Yeah, Chiefs are a good example because it never felt as though there's no point in playing the games. The Chiefs are going to win it all. You never really feel that way. You can always sort of talk yourself into another team winning. Also, I'll say it's more fun when they're kind of spread out, like the Spurs dynasty. That's when it's more fun. But I think there's a place for dynasty. It's just crazy. That feels next to impossible. That feels next to impossible, man. So anyways, let's dive into these series. Let's go over the conference finals. How did we do in our predictions? I don't think very good. Indy, Cleveland. I picked Cleveland to win the series. That's wrong. And I'm ashamed by this because in my bracket I had Indiana winning. I should have just I got duped. I really did. The reason why I changed my stance was I was like, God, man, the Cavs were so good against the Heat. And I knew the Heat were shit. The Heat were garbage. But I was like, they were so impressive. Knicks, I had losing in 5. I don't even feel ashamed by that. Everyone did. I mean, it is what it is. Incredible series by the Knicks. They deserve so much props. Got that wrong. I had OKC in 5 over Denver. Well, I got that right, but it took 7. I had Minnesota in 6. It took them 5. So we got the West right, which isn't that big of an accomplishment. It's been rough. Been a rough postseason in terms of predictions so far for us. It's been rough. We got to lock in. We got to focus. We got to get these right. We got to get it right to close this out. Us, yeah, okay, bud. You guys picked the Knicks and the Pacers? Really? Oh, wow. Congrats, guys. I know damn well everyone in this chat picked the Lakers to beat the Timberwolves. I know for a fact. That's true. Conference finals. Burp, burp, burp. So did you? That's why I said us. Here we go. Mavs fell to 15. No, they actually lost their pick in some unforeseen lottery loophole. Here we go. I think both of these series are going to be incredible. I think both of these series are going to be incredible. If you were to come back from the future and tell me we had 2 Game 7s from this conference finals, I would believe you. Also, an interesting Game 7 tidbit. I tweeted this out yesterday. So you had the iconic Bucks Nets Game 7 overtime, one of the greatest Game 7s ever. Since then, we've had 12 Game 7s. The average margin of victory in those games have been 19 points. Isn't that crazy? Only 3 of those 12 games were decided by less than 10 points. So I was saying something will be incredible, results in series ending in 5. That's not true. I said this postseason was going to be incredible, and it has been so far, right? I would say it's definitely been incredible. Where do we start? Which series do we start with? Let's go Indy versus the Knicks. Knicks have home court advantage. Knicks are favorites in the series. Let me pull up the odds. That way we have a better idea of what Vegas is leaning here. This one is just tough. This one is incredibly difficult to predict. It feels like a complete and total coin flip to me. The pace in which the Pacers play at has to concern you if you're a Knicks fan. Right? Has to concern you. Because it's been well documented. It's been widely discussed. We know the Knicks have a short rotation, although I don't think it's as short as people think. But a shorter rotation. The Pacers have 10, 11 guys they can go to. And they can all kind of shoot, drive, pass the basketball. And also, another thing that concerns me greatly for New York, beyond the pace in which the Pacers can play at, because the Knicks like to play quick as well, but for them, if they want to win this series, I think a slower pace will be better for them. But even in a slower half-court setting, you know, Boston could just sort of... We know how Boston can get offensively. Indy's going to spam pick and rolls over and over and over and over and over. And it does scare me quite a bit for the Knicks. But there's one thing that I just keep going back to in this series that I can't get it out of my head. And I can just close my eyes and I envision it. How did this series go? What are we saying? What are we talking about? It's rebounding. It's Mitchell Robinson, who was so fucking good in that series against the Celtics. It's Mitchell Robinson. It's the Pacers who, despite the fact that they've been... I pull up FanDuel to look at odds for this, and look what I have over here. Cooper Flagg to be the number 1 overall pick, $10 to win 1 cent. Hell yeah. It's rebounding. I mean, this is minus 146 plus 124. I mean, that's pretty close to being a coin flip. It's Mitchell Robinson on the glass. It's the Pacers who have been, by I think it's effective field goal percentage. I saw this, the most efficient offense in playoff history up until this point so far this season. It's been incredible what they've done. But rebounding wise, they've been very poor rebounding the basketball, even in their kind of dominant postseason run so far. And I feel like that's going to kill you, you know? I'm imagining possessions where Josh Hart's guarding Halliburton, cross match. Halliburton's guarding Josh Hart because, you know, that just feels like where they'll probably put Halliburton. And now you have Josh Hart crashing the glass. The problems that could pose for the Pacers. I don't know. Honestly, this is a coin. I think this is going 7 for sure. Well, not for sure, but I could see 7. I think it's an incredibly fun series. Halliburton, Brunson, the weird WWE thing that they did. What was that about? Was that last year when they did that? When they did the WWE thing? Are you allowed to show WWE stuff on YouTube? What's that about? What's the rules there? Do we know? Am I safe? They went 7 last year, and they're different teams. They're much different teams, obviously. This has been the most overall entertaining playoffs in a long time. I think I agree with you. Was that during this offseason? Not gonna lie, you might not be safe, bro. What does that even mean? Oh, you're saying this clip. I thought that was just a comment. See the clip of Shaq saying David Stern straight up asked him where he wanted to be drafted. Kind of wild with the conspiracies going around. David Stern was rigging lotteries for sure. That goes without being said. The script writers knew what they were doing this season. Yeah, it's been very fun and exciting. You have a Knicks team that no matter the score of the game is going to feel like they can win the basketball game. And I think a Pacers team that feels the exact same way. Both have had just incredible comebacks in this postseason alone. Man, what do you guys feel about this series? I want to know. I'm kind of leaning Knicks in 7. Home court. The rebounding is always a thing, right? Like, you can sort of adjust your play style to try and slow the game down. You can mix up your defensive coverages and pick and rolls. And another thing, too, is the Pacers have shot incredibly well. They're going to space the floor. It's going to be kind of difficult for the Knicks. But they did just play a Celtics team that spaces the floor. I think they've done an incredible job on shooters so far this postseason. Malik Beasley, they did a great job on. They did a good job on the Celtics shooters. Knicks looked damn good versus them last year until OG got hurt. Yeah, you can't even really look at what happened last postseason between these two teams because of all the Knicks injuries. Knicks in 6 just because of bias, not going to lie. I don't know how they're guarding the Pacers. I mean, but I feel like there's maybe things they can tap into and adjustments they can make over the course of a series. How do you make up for the rebounding disadvantage the Pacers will probably be at? A significant one. That's sort of where I'm at. That just feels like the biggest swing. I don't think there's an answer for it. Yeah, Cat did look great against the Pacers in the regular season. I saw an interesting thing today. Is it Caitlin Cooper, who does she's a really good follow on Twitter. Pacers. But she sort of mentioned how she sort of pointed out how, again, Cat was great against the Pacers in the regular season. I just really, regular season stuff, kind of one ear out the other for me. And if anyone gets that, it's Knicks fans. but pointed out how Cat, just efficiency-wise, struggles much more when he's guarded by guards versus any other type of player, and how the Pacers just didn't do that in their regular season matchups, and how Aaron Nesmith guarding Cat is probably something the Pacers will go to at some point. That's true. That is true. Dante was going crazy in that series last year. But again, I mean, the Knicks are better than they were in that series now. That's for sure. Pacers are deep. It's fun to say the Knicks, but the Pacers team overall, I think, is better. This is a coin flip. Honestly, I can see it going either way. Both these teams are really good. I think either of these teams could beat the Thunder. I wouldn't pick them. They'd be big underdogs, but either of these teams could win the finals. Absolutely. Can't believe our Wolves, Thunder, Pacers, and Knicks made it this far. I know. I'm proud of our guys. I really am. Man, I think these games will be close. We know both these teams can, how they operate in clutch situations. They're not scared. They don't shrink. No lead's going to be safe in this series. Man, I mean, I think this is just going to be awesome. Like, I'm excited about it. Knicks in 5. I don't know. I go Knicks, and then in my brain, I'm like, well, I think the Pacers can win this series. I think the pace they play at, just how like tuned in they are offensively, right? I saw numbers that going back to January 1st, it was like a collection of offensive stats: pace, turnover rate, assist rate. Like, the Pacers have been the best offense in the league for months. They're just clicking, firing on all cylinders. Cat guarding the pick and roll. Oh damn. That is something that concerns me. Is I don't think you're going to get let off the hook like a team like Boston will let you off the hook at times by just hunting mismatches, in which Cat was great at last series, by the way. Damn. Let me come back to this one. Let me come back. This series starts tomorrow. Minnesota versus OKC. So I've been saying all season, I thought the Thunder would maybe lose 3 games total in the Western Conference before making the finals. That would mean they would have to sweep the Timberwolves, which I do not see happening. They are huge favorites in this series. They are favorites, like, all things considered, pretty sizable favorites to win the finals. Minus 375 in this series. They're minus 175 to win the finals. That's honestly insane when you get to the Final Four. T-Wolves and say, yeah, I'm sure you guys have the T-Wolves. Yeah, I think this will be a good series. I do. I think Julius Randle is far and away the X factor, the swing factor. We kind of saw how Aaron Gordon was able to assert his will in that series. Similar-ish in terms of size and physicality, but different. Aaron Gordon's kind of a play finisher, right? He plays off of Jokic, catch and shoot threes, cutting, catching lobs from the dunker spot, drop-offs, all of that shit. Julius Randle, there's going to be a big, big burden on him. We know that. They're going to do what they can to take out Anthony Edwards, make Anthony Edwards' life as uncomfortable as possible. It's going to be a lot of Julius Randle. It's going to be a lot of Julius Randle drives. Like, who do they put on Randle? Is it going to be Chet? Is it going to be J-Dub? Will they put Hartenstein on Randle and let Chet guard Gobert? It's going to be a big Julius Randle series. It has to be. It has to be for the... No, I'm assuming Dort will guard Ant. Put Caruso on all the big guys, yeah. And Julius has been incredible so far this postseason. And if he can sort of maintain that level of play where he's not turning the ball over, he's not making stupid decisions, right? He's aggressive, he's attacking, he's forcing his will, he's using his physicality to his advantage, he's getting downhill, he's getting to the rim. The Timberwolves have a legit shot to win this series. Naz Reid always plays well against the Thunder. Jaden McDaniels, they're going to help off. They're going to leave Jaden McDaniels open in the corner at times. It'll be a big series for him as well. Now, here's where I'm at with the Thunder. I think last series is a series we're going to be talking about for a long time. I just feel like that's a series that we're going to look back on. The Nuggets, hey, I think myself, big time, slept on the Nuggets a little bit. Just kind of thought entering the postseason, their bench is too sporadic. Jamal Murray hasn't played well this season. MPJ, you don't know what to expect. They just fired their coach. It feels like this is a weird year for the Nuggets. They looked way better than I thought they would. Slept on them a little bit. And the Thunder won a tough 7-game series. OKC only needed the 2 best role players on the Nuggets to be injured. I disagree. I mean, they were like 8-point favorites before the Aaron Gordon news even struck. And it's not like MPJ is some super reliable go-to guy anyways. They're going to ramp it up. They're going to force turnovers. I mean, what they did yesterday against the Nuggets was insane. I'm leaning Thunder in this series. I tweeted this out that this feels like it could be the Anthony Edwards postseason. And if they were to win this series, absolutely it's the Anthony Edwards postseason because he'll have to be incredible. And beyond that, he'll have to have proven that he has entered this new realm as a star, a superstar, where all of the concerns we have had against him will be at the forefront in this series. That goes without being said. It's the playmaking. It's the turnovers, the decision making. All of these things that have haunted him in the past, that have prevented them from being, contenders or championship teams, what really hurt them last year against the Mavericks, that will be the center of the conversation. You can't have games you're turning the ball over 6-7 times against this Thunder team because they'll force those turnovers. But not only that, they're going to score off those turnovers. Almost guaranteed. And it's going to be an onslaught and an avalanche. And next thing you know, it was asked the Nuggets yesterday, Game 7. Kind of Nuggets were in control early. And I was saying it in the chat. I'm like, oh man, this just feels like this might be over already. Like the Nuggets came out, their control. The Thunder are missing everything. They're short on all their threes. They're not even close on their threes. This feels horrifying. And then it was just an onslaught in the second quarter, an avalanche. And next thing you know, it's a 12-point game at halftime, and then a quick little run to start the third quarter, and then the game was done. Just that quick. Timberwolves, I didn't think looked all that impressive in that series against the Warriors. And in a series where, they were going to win that series. That team was done. The Warriors were finished with no Steph. Resting Murray and Jokic together for 1 minute was ugly. Oh, yeah, that was a terrible decision. Terrible decision. But the Timberwolves even had turnover problems, and the Warriors will force turnovers. But in their closeout game against the Warriors, Ant had 7 turnovers. They had 20 as a team. Damn, this is going to be a really good series, though, I think. This is going to be a really good series. I am going to go with the Thunder. And I'm going to go OKC in 6. That's where I'm at. Confidence meter, I'm feeling pretty good about it, 73%. Every flaw the Nuggets had came to fruition on top of injuries. That series was more about the Thunder's offense not being elite than Denver being good. But, I mean, Denver is good, though. Yes, the Thunder will have a few games where they're going to struggle offensively, I think. For sure. Yes, and every Thunder flaw came to fruition as well, and they still won the series. They still dominated Game 7. J-Dub had a big Game 7. Let's see where that takes him. Let's see where a young team that has, you have that mental roadblock. We lost in the second round last year, and now we're going up against this Nuggets team that's won a championship. They're not scared of the moment. Is that a series win like a confidence boost? We did it. We got over the hump. Let's go. The 2 best role players on the Nuggets were injured. I mean, okay. What am I supposed to fucking do with that information? Great. So are they going to lose to this Timberwolves team? The Timberwolves just played a team that was destroyed by injuries. So what am I supposed to do with that? Well, what am I supposed to say about that? I don't know what you're wanting from me. How does that change OKC? What do you mean? There's a mental roadblock, okay? You've ever played sports, there's the mental side is probably well over half the game. You're acting like this is a series we look at 5 years from now. It very easily could be. Dude, every team's injured as fuck in the playoffs. Literally all of them. The Warriors were injured as fuck. Celtics finals MVP was injured. Yeah, true. Jaylen Brown was injured. We played everyone healthy last year except the Clips. The Mavs. Well, the Celtics were not healthy. It just didn't matter. Dude, Stream Deck, you got to figure it out. Warriors fans are begging Adam Silver to delay round 2 because Steph got hurt for the sake of the culture. I didn't see that. That's hilarious. No, it's my fucking Stream Deck just disconnects and reconnects all the time. I don't get it. Look, it's the mental roadblock. We got past the second round. That was our downfall last year. Now it's time. Now we've exercised that demon. Bro's a boomer, I swear. No, it's not being a boomer. It's like that. There's something wrong with the cord. I don't know what it is. Knicks, Pacers, we got to make a decision. Closing my eyes. Let's just go pure vibes. We've talked about. I'm closing my eyes. What am I imagining? And the Pacers are headed to the NBA Finals. And the New York Knicks are headed to the NBA Finals. It's a Tuesday morning. Game 4 just ended. I don't know if that's the day of the week Game 4 is going to fall on. Game 4 just ended, and every Twitter account, they're already going to cry about this, but every Twitter account is saying, I cannot believe how bad the refs were last night. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. The league is rigged. Who do we think that was in favor of? That's kind of where I'm at. I can't lie. Yes, definitely the Knicks. We've said that, though. And like the Lakers had never in that series at any point felt as though they got a whistle. I'm just, you know what? This is such a coin flip to me that I'm going home court. Let's just go Knicks. Knicks in 7. Confidence meter, I'm going 50.5%. I don't know. It's like literally the biggest coin flip. I think it's the biggest coin flip series we've had in the playoffs. In my mind right now. You know, and you never know. I could see this series could go 5 games. The series could go 7. I mean, I have no clue. This is like... I'm really unsure. Random ass number. No, I'm saying 50% is just like the threshold. I'm just so unsure. I think we get 2 long series here, and they're going to be great and a lot of fun. Could I also see the Thunder winning in 4 or 5 games? Yes. What the hell, Burton? What the hell, Burton? Injuries. Oh, man. I have so much. First and foremost, can I just say this? I know there's some Nuggets fans in the chat. I know that there's this sort of anytime a team plays the Thunder, this happens. I can't, for the life of me, imagine that crying and bitching about officiating has ever been worse than this. I cannot imagine it being worse than this. This is the worst I've ever seen it. To me, it's reaching like sort of a pathetic, an absolutely pathetic state, where you had Nuggets fans on Twitter behaving as if them losing Game 7 by 40 points was a direct result of the refs. I want to say this, and I'll continue to say this, and I've said this all year long. When it comes to the Thunder defensively, does it look like they get away with a lot? Sure. Does it look like they get away with a lot? Sure. Why does it look like that? Because they're physical as fuck. They're aggressive. They're assertive. They fight for positioning. They beat you to your spot. And they're just better than every other defense by a lot. That's it. They're better than every other defense in the league. They know they won't get called for every foul. Is there a strat to play overly physical to get more turnovers? And I can't sit here and in good faith say that it's bad or whatever, because this is how the Mavericks were able to turn into a top-end defense last year. Guys, let's be very clear. The Mavericks transformed their team into a very physical defense that would swarm you, that would double, that would clog up driving lanes, that would funnel you into rim protectors, that would front you in the post, that would battle you for position, that would beat you to your spot. And it looks overly physical because the defense is physical. And yeah, they're not going to call every whistle. And you know what? You guys don't want that. We spent years crying about the fucking whistle, and they don't allow anything anymore. They don't allow anything. They can't play defense. And then a team plays defense, you're like, oh my God, what? Are we going to get any foul calls? Can we get some foul calls, ref? Can we get some foul calls? This is it right here. If finals end up being Thunder Knicks, we may set flopping records for this play. Mind you, this was ruled a flagrant. Mind you, they reviewed this and called it a flagrant because he got elbowed directly in the head. Bradley with the $4.99, feeling slightly graduated from college, enjoying some bias day. Congratulations, Bradley. Congratulations, man. What did we get? Did we get our third master's degree? I'm just like, I just searched refs and I just knew every single tweet would be from Nuggets fans. When are the hats getting shipped out? Whenever I get them. I put on there it'd be 2 to 3 weeks. So I'll let you guys know. Fans, this game is unwatchable unless defense is allowed to be played. Okay, well, allow more physicality. Fans realizing this helps their opponent too. We can't allow this hacking. Yeah, it's stuff like this. Like, what is the original tweet? People really want this defense to be a foul. This is fronting the post. Okay, thank you, Michael. Thank you. This is incredible defense. Caruso played out of his mind. Caruso, that was unbelievable what Caruso did yesterday. Really all series long. I mean, he's been so good in this playoffs. Jokic foul baits too. Dude, I said, I went to game 5. I watched it in person. Jokic was the biggest flopper in this series. He was. Now, is he trying to sell contact? He's trying to give us a... Yeah, he is. But he was flopping his ass off. And that just is what it is. He was grifting his ass off. And again, he has to do that. That's fine. But I'm just telling you what it was. Thunder getting praised for playing a style Luka was crucified for. Forever a Shea hater. The Thunder force a lot of turnovers, play swarming defense, get out and run in transition, play incredibly quick in offense, incredibly quick offensively, score off of turnovers. They play nothing like Luka plays. They do nothing the same that Luka does, really. You hate Luka? Okay, here you go. I'm shutting this game off. Nuggets got to get tougher next season because these refs are incompetent in the playoffs. Where is the foul? What is this guy wanting? Per sources.
Please explain to me. All this contact is illegal. I'm supposed to watch this game any further. Please explain to me. All this contact is illegal, bro. This isn't the NFL. This isn't the NHL. All of this contact is illegal. Why am I supposed to watch this game? Why
Wait,
am I supposed to watch?
What was illegal? The thing that I don't think people understand is defenders are allowed space similarly to offensive players. And if you beat your offensive guy to a spot, you are allowed to be there. Like Caruso gets to that spot before Jokic. What's a foul there? And this
the NFL. This isn't the NHL.
I mean, that's a clean strip right there. Where's the foul there? Dude, I don't know. It's just like, it was unbelievable. Like Nuggets fans, that's the worst I've ever seen it. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure what the brain chemistry makeup was there. No defense would be such a low energy game. Just look at the All-Star game. Alex Caruso and Lou Dort play a completely different set of rules. You're missing the point. This isn't the NHL. He's just pointing out that he's watching the NBA. Oh, okay. Guys, this isn't NFL. What point are you trying to make? That's not the NFL. Oh, okay. Just letting you guys know. Oh, all right. The fix is officially in. The amount of bullshit coming from the refs is disgusting. Denver man. All right, well, there you go. What time of the day was this? 4 o'clock? Oh, so this was when it was about a 30-point game. Sorry, but not factoring how OKC's defense was officiated in the second quarter and how absurd it was, denying a pretty big aspect of the game. You can't think it's lame to talk refs, but it's the reality at the same time. I don't care about calling it out. I just don't think the refs were that, like, I don't think it was as poorly as officiated as Nuggets fans think. Look, when you're a physical defense and you have a team full of great defenders, Denver wasn't allowed this kind of contact. You like that keeps being said, but what are the examples really? And I'm sure there's going to be a few plays here and there. Like, yes, the refs are going to miss some calls. Absolutely. I'm not saying that they were perfect or anything like that. But I mean, and this doesn't tell the full story, but like, what was the free throw discrepancy in this series? So good defenders can get away with fouls. No, I'm saying good defenders play good defense, and a lot of times you misconstrue good defense for fouls. Because it just, in your brain, it's just immediately like, that should be a foul. It's like, yes, if you show Jokic and Caruso battling it out for post position, yeah, there's a lot of contact both ways. And a lot of times the offensive player initiates that contact. Look at this. This is how you guys do it right here. Look at this. This popped up on my search. Sometimes you got to work the refs. The Mavs got to call right after this.
We got to get a foul call, ref. We got to get one. At least one.
And they did. And what's funny is this guy, not the beer guy, shout out to him. The ref during the one of the commercials came over and talked to us. It was super cool. And you want to know something? This actually happened. You can ask Nick. This actually happened. Right after this, the Mavs got a foul. He looked over and he winked at us. Hilarious. I think I want challenges gone. Get in the ref's face like a man. I do want challenges gone. I understand the revision history, but after this series, do you think Mavs team with Luka had a chance versus OKC? I don't think this version, the coming off injury version of Luka this year, I would say probably no. Just if I'm being truthful. Challenges out the game. I seriously. And just a Mavs team that was dealing with injuries all season long. Early season, it would have been a great series for sure. Maybe they would have won it. Absolutely. Definitely a possibility. Last year's Mavs beats this year's OKC. Possible, for sure. We beat them without Luka 3 times. I want to say 2 of those wins, they didn't even have Chet or Hartenstein. I could be wrong there. They didn't have both for either of those wins. I think in 2 of them, they didn't have a single one. But I mean, it's possible. It's absolutely possible. Mavs didn't have Luka. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's possible they could have won it for sure. Am I going to sit here and say for certain they would have? No, because I don't think it would be a certainty. Did you see Jokic quote about beer? Nico's in shambles. Yeah, I did see that. So a big story from this. A big story from this Game 7 was, of course, Aaron Gordon playing through what was reported by Shams Charania as a grade 2 hamstring strain, which We looked it up. Let me pull up this graphic. Let me pull up these graphic. Because a grade 3 is just kind of crazy. It's like a literal tear. Here we go. Dude, Bing is so terrible. I got to get off Bing, guys. I got to get off Bing. Grades of hamstring strains. Grade 2, partial muscle tear. So your hamstring is literally torn. Partially. But torn. A month-long recovery window for this. And on top of that, Steph missed pretty much the entire Timberwolves series with a grade 1 tear. OG last year, this Aaron Gordon's game last year kept getting compared to OG's. OG played, I believe, 4 minutes in Game 7 of that series against the Pacers with a grade 1 hamstring strain. That was after missing 4 games in that series. So, I mean, Aaron Gordon, salute. Hey, salute. Keep going hard on them boys. Aaron Gordon, a soldier in every sense of the word. Not only playing in this game with that, again, reported as a grade 2 hamstring strain, but playing 25 minutes, and you might look at that and say, oh, only 25 minutes. If this game were close, he would have played probably 40, right? He was going to play 40 minutes in this game. How many minutes did he play in the first half? Once they realized this game was over in the second half, they didn't even really fuck around with having him out there, which was probably the right call. But he had 17 minutes in the first half of this game. So maybe not 40, but he was going to play 35 minutes or so if this game were close. Just salute to him, man. And he played pretty well, too. All things considered. He did get beat a little bit defensively. Did get blown by. They had like a highlight package of it at one point. But grabbed 11 rebounds, 4 offensive rebounds. He had more rebounds in that game than Jackson Hayes did all series. Yes. I saw that stat. It is funny, but Jackson Hayes like barely played. But yeah, damning. But he had this interesting quote after the game that I feel like is an interesting talking point. Somebody pointed out that he looked like Billie Eilish here. Let's listen.
Health is a lot, you know. Health is a lot, you know. I would really, really appreciate it if there were a couple of days in between games in the playoffs instead of every other day. Regardless if you go 7 games. You know, I understand if you do your work early and you get first seed, then you can have some time off. But I think the days in between games, not just off day and a travel day, but a travel day and a recovery day, just two days. I think the product of the game would be a lot better. I think there'd be just a better product on the floor, just to give all these professional athletes just one more day of rest, and you would see a higher level of basketball. Probably less blowouts. Health is a lot, you know.
So, he's a bad guy. McMahon said Jokic told Gordon not to play. Wow. So, it's an interesting thing because how are you going to tell a player that he's wrong? I'll say this. There's never a world in which they'll do this. Extending an already incredibly long postseason any further would be disastrous for the NBA. It would. It just would. It would be bad for the league. You think in today's TikTok, Zoomer, brain rot generation, people are going to care about a playoff series that lasts 3 fucking weeks? Sorry. No chance. A 21-day long series? No chance that people are going to really care about that for 3 entire weeks. Just think about that. Think about how the NFL playoffs are basically done in 3 weeks. Baseball playoffs kind of goes by pretty quickly too. That would be just one series in the NBA. And you're saying if you were to do that and keep, let's just do some basic math, right? Let's just say you get 7 games, 1 game every 3 days. So 21 days, 3 weeks to complete a 7-game series. If you were to do that over the course of 4 series, 84 days is how long it would take to complete the playoffs. 84 days, and that's not factoring in like the built-in, like you get a week off before the playoffs. We take a few days off before the finals. Nearly 3 months. We would be finishing the season like nearly the end of July. They just can't do this. It sucks. It is what it is. Injuries are a part of it. I guess there's just no world in which you could do this. There's no world in which you could do this. I get what Aaron Gordon is saying too. But this is just the way that it is. Make everything except the finals best of 3 or best of 5. So the problem with that is the league, I think first round should be best of 5. Absolutely. That's if I were made commissioner, that's one of the first changes I would do. First round is best of 5 from here on out. And yeah, one of the things you could say is, all right, fine, but let's shorten the regular season. If it's injuries and guys are just kind of worn out and their bodies are worn out by the playoffs, and the fact that there's no extended rest in between games means that you're more susceptible to injuries. Fine, let's cut the season down. 72, 62 games. The problem is the players would never say yes to that because they'll lose money. So it's just kind of this give or take. You know? And I don't know. Maybe Aaron Gordon is like, yeah, I'd give up money. I'd give up money for 62 games. But it's never going to happen because of that. So, I mean, also, I guess unless Aaron Gordon is sort of saying that because I didn't get a lot of rest is why I hurt my hamstring versus if I had more rest, I would have been better. Make the players vote. Maybe no player's going to vote yes. No player's going to vote yes to that. If you're losing 10 games of revenue, that's 1/8 of your season, basically. 1/8 of your paycheck. You don't have to short the season. Just do away with the minimum game rest requirements for players and be done with it. Players can have the rest over the year. Then you're basically conceding that, yeah, guys, our regular season doesn't mean shit. So I get where Gordon's coming from, but they just can't do it. It doesn't? Yeah, but you don't want to openly say that. If you put a game requirement, trust in Rob Pelinka. I kind of want to get into this space because I bet it's hilarious. But if you put a requirement, a game requirement on your awards, because you're basically saying, guys, we understand. And by the way, I have another bone to pick with the NBA. Let me get to that in a second. But we understand that rest has become a big problem here, and we kind of want to punish players that rest a bunch. And then if you walk that back a few years later and say, actually, fuck it. Just rest. Our regular season doesn't mean shit, so let's reduce the season. Well, yeah, but that would be actively doing things to make the regular season matter more. Shortening the season would make the regular season matter more. Just getting rid of the game requirement is just basically like, yeah, fuck it. We lost the battle. So, anyways, another thing, too. How have we not done the MVP yet? What is going on there? How have we not announced the MVP? You just had the series, well, which I know you like to do the last 3 finalists, but let's be honest. The two MVP finalists, Jokic and Shea, were battling against each other. You had an opportunity to do this big rollout thing and do the, before game fucking 1, just announce it. And it's like, oh, Shea won and Jokic finished second. And that's the battle. It's MVP versus second. And MVP, like, oh, what a fun battle. Who really deserved it? How did you miss that one? Honestly, that's the easiest win of all time. That is the easiest no-brainer decision ever. What are we doing? Why have we not done that? And then you put yourself in this weird position where Shea is going to win it, right? But even if you were to say it's 50-50, we don't know who's going to win it until we count the last vote. You put yourself in a position where it's like, there's a very good chance the guy who wins the MVP in this series is going to be out of the playoffs by the time we announce it. Like, what was the idea there? Silver was too busy rigging the lottery for the Mavs. Okay. Hey, that's fair. My bad, Silver. My bad. If that's the case, then my bad. Carry on. Carry on. Carry on. Oh, my Lord. Jesus. But I don't think the NBA should extend the playoffs any more than it already is. It's already very long. They don't need to extend it any further. The NFL season is better, in my opinion, because the games actually mean something and that makes them more interesting. I mean, that's just the nature of the game, right? When you have 17 games, yes, every game's going to mean more. What else did I say we were going to talk about? Oh, here's an interesting report. Despite not having a first-round pick, the Bucks have been planning to bring in some projected top 8 picks for workouts. I've been told by multiple sources the Bucks are taking steps in the event Giannis Antetokounmpo moves on. Tyrese Halliburton is flying out the Pacers fan who was attacked by trash bags in the streets of New York City. He's inviting him out to a game. Good for him. Oh, that's right. The Caitlin Clark thing. I'm not going too deep into the Caitlin Clark Angel Reese thing. And here's the reality is I watched the Wings opening night game. I did watch the Fever Sky game, by the way. Our girl Haley Van Lith, all-time leader, WNBA leader in points per minute. Minimum minute required, 4 minutes. So, shout out to our girl. Getting it done. Right? I gotta say, I don't. Why I don't. Why does the WNBA have to be like this? I don't understand. Because I'm not gonna lie, I watched a few games over the weekend. I did, straight up, and I thought it was great. I think the league's in a legitimate. No, I am impressed with the WNBA product. I think the league's in a legitimately good place. Absolutely. I think it's in a great place. I think the regular season's fun. It's kind of what we were just talking about. There's less games. The games matter more. I'll say this. You wouldn't know it if you were on Twitter all the time. Like, you would not know. You would not know the league is legitimately in a very good place and legitimately a good product. You would not know that if you were on Twitter all the time. What's the discourse on Twitter? It's brutal. Every single WNBA topic I see brought up on Twitter is horrible. Horrible. It is terrible. I have no clue how you're supposed to talk about. I feel bad for anyone who's like, yeah, like I want to do WNBA stuff. Like I want to cover the league. I want to build a platform where I'm talking about the league. I don't know how anybody survives in that. It's that bad. You cannot just simply talk about the game from what I see. It's horrible. Saw a great Candace Parker quote where she was hoping we could get to the point where we're actually able to talk about the product on the floor. Good, bad. Yeah, I think it's just reaching this. It's just in this insane state. And I agree. I agree. The Caitlin Clark thing has led to the influx of a lot of very crazy people. Has led to the influx of a lot of very crazy off the rails people with some absolutely batshit insane takes and views of the world. DLLS. No, I'm sorry. No. That's great. We'll look at quotes later. I don't like how rookies play a month after the college season ends. Yeah, it's a little bit weird, but that's kind of the way they have to do it. Certain people are only interested in women's sports as a cultural for their political agendas. Yes, absolutely that is happening. So I get all of that. That factors into the equation. Absolutely. But also, it's also at the same time, it's just like, guys, the league is growing in popularity. There's much more people interested in it. This is the nature of sports. People hate watch teams. People hate watch players. People talk shit about teams. People talk shit about players. You know, like that's what's going to happen. And there does not need to be think pieces every time something like that happens. It's just the nature of the game. It's how it's going to be. And you know what? From an interest standpoint, from an engagement standpoint, from people being interested in the sport standpoint, it's good for the league. It is. There's going to be haters. There's going to be, that's how it fucking goes. That's how it goes. That's how it's going to be in every single sport there is. And yes, there are people who are batshit insane. Absolutely. Absolutely. Look what's trending. Knicks in 5, Wolves in 6. Is that the world trying to tell us something? What the hell? What the hell? Wolves in 6. I click on it. It's exact. A tweet pops up doesn't even say Wolves in 6, and it's exactly what we're talking about. The WNBA is dead evolving in front of our eyes, and y'all trying to make it a race war. Oh, God. I don't even want to get into that. Elon is... Any more Nika Mule minutes solely for research purposes? Oh, man. Her handle? Okay, there it is. Wolves in 6. Can you all stop comparing Clark to Reese? That's why it's crazy, because it's not even a discussion. I mean, yeah, it's not. It's not even a discussion. And I just, it sucks, man. Because again, the league is really good. The league is in a legitimately good place, and it's booming, and it's exciting, and it's all these young, incredible players that are going to be in our lives for 10 plus years. It sucks that the conversation and discourse around it is so bad. So bad. And it's like a flagrant foul. Is that really that big? Is it that big of a sports story? That's what I'm at. That's right. That should be a fun moment, right? That Caitlin Clark foul on Reese should be a fun moment. That's there's kind of like this rivalry that we've kind of created, but it goes back to college. They played each other in the championship game. There is a legit rivalry there. Yes, Caitlin Clark is much better than Angel Reese, but there's a fun rivalry there, and there's a hard foul, and yeah. That's a fun moment in a rivalry. Yeah, it wasn't it was a hard foul, absolutely, but it wasn't like a disgustingly dirty foul or anything like that. But it was, and Angel Reese got up and responded the same way almost anyone would. Let's be very clear. Almost anyone would respond to a hard foul like that in the same way. Like nothing about that was insane. Nothing about that was crazy. Nothing about that should have led to the response that we all got, that we got. It's a fun moment, but yet it just can't be like that right now. And it's a shame. Here's a quote from an hour ago. If players are unbothered, we should be too. Yes, that's exactly right. That is exactly it. I don't get, it's just so nasty and I hate it. Like this right here. Angel Reese may be the most petty and insufferable athlete in sports right now. Her jealousy for Caitlin Clark has made her act a fool. This has 35,000 likes. 35,000? Man, the WNBA is having a moment. It is having a moment. Like, that's a hard foul. That's a hard foul. Absolutely.
Strong on a three. And look.
There's literally nothing about that play that's bad. You see what RG3 had to say about the situation? Oh, God. Oh, God. What did he say? Like, am I wrong? I'm not wrong, though. She's acting jealous. What happened there? I think that was a hard foul. I don't think it was like necessarily dirty or anything like that, but it's a hard foul. I mean, that's a hard foul. No NBA players responding like that. I guarantee you, I could find you a million clips of a player getting a hard foul and then getting up and immediately being mad. Literally, there's attire like this. This guy's a weirdo. Attire like this is wildly unprofessional and inappropriate for a sports reporter, in my opinion. What is inappropriate about this? What is inappropriate about this attire at all? Is this guy scared of cleavage? This guy might, and hey, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, but this guy might be gay. Which, again, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Personally, there's really nothing wrong with it. But I think he's probably having a hard time coming to grips with that. Because in his brain, that's such a disgusting sin. And these are the people who are, you want to know what's fucked up about it? You don't even want to talk about this shit, but the fucked up part is, look at this, 35,000 likes, 2.8 million views. These are the people that are inadvertently leading the WNBA discourse. Because this guy tweets some shit like this, it pops off, now everyone's talking about it. Like, these are the people who are leading NBA discourse. Isn't that WNBA discourse? Isn't that insane? It's a shame. It really is. It really is. Because, again, the league is really good. I really do think it is. I watched it this weekend. It's fun. It's in a good place. There's a lot of great athletes. Same people making up lies saying Fever fans were making monkey sounds when Reese was shooting it. Yeah, I saw that too. I mean, yeah, it's in an insane place. Sports fans are developmentally challenged, to be honest. It's just like this fucking freak, Johnny Root, like this freak hijacks the entire discourse. John Root. Look at it, he just tweeted about it 34 minutes ago. Oh, this guy's an actual freak. This guy's entire timeline. Jesus. This country's too obsessed with race as man who's constantly tweeting about race. Yeah, it's ironic, isn't it? It's ironic. So anyways, I hope we can reach a point soon where, you know, we can really start to shift the focus. I can't lie to you. There's part of me that's worried that this could happen with Flagg, but the NBA is in a much different place. Like, there's just, it wouldn't. By the way, I have ESPN. Pat McAfee show's on right now, and the last 3 minutes have been completely and totally blanked out. This is good television right here. This is a unique problem people have with women. Yeah, it is. You're 100% right. Page versus Clark will change the topic, and when Juju comes. In NBA discourse, we don't entertain the bad actors. Yeah, that's true as well. If you're not waking up, eating a pound of ground beef with bananas and honey and bone marrow and hate watching WNBA highlights, you're a sissy. Hell yeah. Is that the new grift? Is this the grift right here? Am I missing an angle? Is there a grifting angle about Cooper Flagg? Because I've been saying it, man. We haven't had a white American-born star in a long time in the league. A long time. I don't know about NBA being fine because a huge chunk of Mavs think Nico is trading the picks because he's racist. I think you're talking about a subsect of Luka, and I'm not even going to lump them all together and say that you're talking about Luka stands. You're talking about a sect of Luka standum where, yes, these people have been in my replies before very angry at me for things. And yes, one quick little glance at their timeline, and you're dealing with, you know, some very out there individuals. Some very out there individuals. Some very, very out there people. Some of these people are wildly unhinged. Yes, very unhinged. The people where you'll look at your timeline and you'll just think to yourself, how are you an NBA fan? Like, how, given your opinions on certain matters that I can see just from your timeline, how do you sit down and like watch the NBA? This is something I've never understood. Like when the NFL put in racism in its end zone and people were upset about that. It's like, how are you watching the league? I don't understand it. NBA is mostly a hate watch for people. Yeah, I saw someone say we're in a time in the NBA where every team is a fraud. All teams are frauds, and they're just waiting to be proven as frauds. That is kind of where NBA discourse seems to be in a lot of ways. Where it's like every team is fraudulent and bad. And we're just waiting for them to, even teams that win it all, we're just waiting for them to be deemed fraudulent. It's funny to me, the Celtics were actually fraudulent all along. That's a take that was going around. The Celtics were dominant last year. And the Knicks just beat them. They got. And then hurt. They got. I think it's more, there's not a lot of frauds in the league. I want PJ to get extended and be the sixth man, but he has to agree to that. Oh, speaking of extensions, did you guys see Bobby Marks say that Christian Brown is going to get $30 million per year?
The boxes off. He should get paid. What does getting paid mean? Jalen Suggs was 5 for 150. I would think it would be higher than that based on where the cap is going. But career high in minutes, and started 77 to 79 games, 30 year in a row playing 75 plus. Durability, played all 82. Joined Dyson Daniels as the only player in the past 2 years to increase their scoring average by more than 8 points. Christian Brown will get paid. He is a terrific player, and he fits what you're trying to do. I think the number is at least $30 million per year. Extension candidate to
$30 million per year. No way. No chance. This is why restricted free agency exists, by the way. Christian Brown's going to be a restricted free agent. Let him hit restricted free. If a team wants to pay him $30 million, okay. Maybe then we have to have a conversation. Maxing you, signing, trading you, whatever the case. We're going to let you get to restricted free agency. If you want $30 million, there's no fucking way we're paying you $30 million a year unless another team says they'll do it. $30 million, bro. Worth it. Christian Brown in today's look, I like Christian Brown. I tweeted yesterday, Christian Brown can play for my team any day. Absolutely, he could. I think he's a good player. He's taken huge steps forward this year. Was their second best player yesterday? What was he in the series? Third best player behind Jamal and Jokic, maybe fourth behind Gordon. But in today's world with the aprons and how difficult it is to build around teams with that much when you have players making that much money, no chance I'm giving you $30 million. No chance in hell. These are the type of guys, and I've said this, we're going to see a very interesting change in how players are paid. Because the type of players like, if I'm Memphis, I'm looking at Jaren Jackson Jr. and I'm like, do I really have to pay you $40+ million a year? Whatever the fuck your contract is, $50 million, whatever is it? Do I really have to pay you that? And like, should I? Should I honestly be paying you this? Christian Brown is the $30 million. All right, you're hitting restricted free agency, buddy. No chance. No chance. I mean, this team is done. If you pay Christian Brown $30 million, how the fuck are you building it? How are you building a team? Just insane. Insanity. One has to go from Memphis, either Jaren Jackson Jr., Bane, or Morant. Who do you guys think? Partho at the 499. I have a sneaky feeling J-Mac might have a PJ series against OKC, who's too tall, lanky, and too good of a 2-point scorer for Shea to be hidden on him. Yeah, Jaden McDaniels is going to be a big player in this series. And this series is going to be good. I really do think. I think this is going to be a close, good series. Tyler with the 499. Us Luka fans are okay with the trade. We didn't like the disrespect coming out of Nico's mouth, but we all know he'll win MVP quicker in LA. Yeah, if the Lakers are good next year, I mean, Luka's going to win an MVP. Like, he'll win one at some point. I think he will, yeah. His statistical output's just too crazy. He'll win one at some point. He's only 26 years old. If the Pacers pull it out, do we start to have some uncomfortable combos about Hallie? What the Halliburton? I mean, it depends on how the series plays out. I think most people look at the Pacers and are like, this is a really well-built team, and they're really well coached. And yes, Halliburton is great. But Siakam's like a teetering around a top 20 player. Like, they're just a really good team. And I feel like that's the conversation right now. It's not like, hey, they're being led by this Halliburton guy that we need to change how we talk about him. But if they do win the series and Halliburton's great and has a few more clutch shots, yeah, definitely. Definitely it'll change the perception of him, which is already weird. Hallie Ring and JB Ring do nothing for their legacy. All right. I mean, how can you say a ring does nothing for someone's legacy unless your name's Jason Tatum, unfortunately, for Tatum? I don't think he's winning MVP if he doesn't get it in the next 2 years. I mean, there will be a year where guys are hurt and you look at the field and you're like, I think it's Luka's time. Like, that's going to happen. I promise you that's going to happen. Unless he falls off of a cliff. That's the only world in which it doesn't happen. We say this every year. What if he's 26? Like, it's not like he's 33. If you were 33, I'd be like, yeah, I don't know. Probably not. But he's 26. He's been in the league for so long already. I mean, the biggest concern would be, is he going to be healthy enough? Like, that's it. That's the biggest concern. Luka's training hard right now. Have you seen the videos? I don't give a shit. The Luka training videos are approaching Ben Simmons shooting threes in an empty gym videos. Nobody thinks that Luka doesn't train ever, by the way. Like, we know. It's... Nobody's ever said he doesn't ever work out or do anything. He's never led his team to a great regular season. That's the thing, too, is to win MVP, you probably have to get mid-50s in wins. Jordan, the $5, just supporting the content. Great stuff, brother. Thank you, Jordan. I'm excited for this video I'm working on. A timeline of the Mavs season. I think it's going to be funny. I think it's going to be great. Putting a lot of time and effort into it. I'm excited for you guys to see that. Maybe next week it'll be out. These are the type of videos I'm enjoying making right now. We'll get back to a point where maybe we're doing shorter videos, but I'd like the long ones. I like the long ones. You think Luka even cares to win MVP? I mean, I think every player would like to win MVP. Anyone who says otherwise is probably lying to yourself. Can you make a video of you tossing cheeks? Jesus. Cooper Flagg is scheduled to meet with the Mavs, last I've heard. Yeah, he's going to meet with the Mavs. In fact, I'll even go a step further. He's going to get drafted by him. It's going to be such a funny month, man. I mean, like the shit that's going to come out. You're going to get the, actually, like, are we sure Cooper Flagg's even good? You're going to get those. Are we sure Cooper Flagg's even that good? You're going to get those. You're going to get Cooper Flagg's going to try and force his way out. You're going to get those. Like that, just don't even entertain it. I feel bad even entertaining this one. This one people were sending me. The chemistry lab. Spurs and Mavericks have had in-depth dialogue about swapping their number 1 and 2 pick. The chemistry lab. Yes, it's K. Dot the chemist. Oh! Duh! I was going through this guy's timeline and it's hilarious because he just like throws shit at the wall. These guys are so funny. They just throw shit at the wall. And I'm a little bit jealous and I kind of want to start doing it. Just throw shit at the wall and then once one thing sticks, you just kind of go back to it. Like he had the Fox thing. It was like in December, he was like, De'Aaron Fox. He kept doing this. He kept doing this one. Like, Happy New Year to my East Coast family as we talk Kevin Durant to the San Antonio Spurs. He's like, yeah, Kevin Durant to the Spurs. And it's like, he keeps going back to it as if it's like, see, I was right. It's like, what? What the fuck were you right about? Like, what were you right about Kevin Durant to the Spurs? He's not on the Spurs. Welcome back, Dropping Dimes. Well, Dropping Dimes was legitimate. What did we decide Dropping Dimes was? He was like a disgruntled agent or something. Somebody who was working with an agency that was disgruntled. And he had like real sources close to Daryl Morey or some shit like that. Hey, Gronk, does Cooper Flagg even want to go to the Mavs? Is this true, Gronk? Hey, Gronk. I love this. I love the offseason. And we're here. I need to start doing offseason stuff because it'll be here before you even know it. And I think this is going to be an insane offseason. I mean, I can't imagine this not being an insane offseason. But also at the same time, though, there's been some like kind of rumblings that, hey, maybe KD stays in Phoenix. If I had to bet right now what happens with Giannis, if I just had to bet, I would say he stays. I honestly would say that he stays where he's at. I just think that, and maybe I'm wrong, he ain't staying after that Beal mess. I don't know. So I'll say this: the Mavs are drafting Cooper Flagg. It's happening. Don't worry. Don't panic. Don't freak out. Okay, it's gonna happen. Okay. Here is the reason why it's going to happen the most. Sean Halliburton ended his reign in Milwaukee. Patrick Dumont will not let anything else happen. Okay, so even if you're worried about the potential Nico Harrison rogue maneuvering, it ain't happening. Okay? Like, I'm just telling you. Cooper Flagg will be a member of the Dallas Mavericks. That's it. Sleep easy at night. When you put your head on that pillow, close your eyes knowing you can sleep easy. All right? God, there was like an article I wanted to read. I saw that I thought was interesting. I'm so sad that Bleacher Report took away streaks. Oh, somebody asked earlier if I saw the sports version of Connections. Yeah, we did it once. It was just too easy. Maybe it was just the one that we did, but it was just way too easy. New NBA mock draft loaded with trade ideas. All right. Cooper Flagg to the Mavs. Pro comp, Jalen Johnson. You might see that and think that's offensive. Jalen Johnson's really good. Kevin Garnett. That's pretty big. Are you going to watch J Kidd on DLS live stream? I'll just look at the quotes. San Antonio Spurs, Dylan Harper. Where are the trades? Trade idea. Jaylen Brown to the Spurs. All right, I got to be honest with you guys. I'm locking in. I'm kind of excited for Fanspo again. I'm kind of excited for all of this. This mock draft with trade ideas. Cooper Flagg, again, Jalen Johnson, that might seem offensive as a comparison, but Jalen Johnson's great. Legit all-star upside if he is healthy. Kevin Garnett, that goes without being said how great that would be. Wait, the team fit. The Luka Doncic trade obviously left Dallas without a long-term centerpiece, and Flagg is a perfect fit to fill that void. More immediately, his play finishing will shine alongside Kyrie Irving once Irving returns from his March ACL tear. The Mavs defense will be all kind of disruptive with Flagg, Anthony Davis, and Derek Lively. Woo! Woo! There was also an ESPN mock draft today where one of the things was like, yeah, the question amongst execs is whether or not Cooper Flagg will just kind of be an all-star or one of the best players in the league. So that's his floor. Just like, yeah, could he be an all-star or like one of the best in the entire NBA? Here it is. Jonathan Giovanni for ESPN. Just great stuff. Scouts' only question is whether Flagg projects as merely an NBA all-star or if, as some scouts suggest, he can become one of the league's most impactful players on both ends of the floor. Spurs take Dylan Harper, who I think is going to be incredible. Pro comp, Cade Cunningham, Jalen Brunson. Trade idea. Here we go. Let's look at this. Spurs get Jaylen Brown. The Celtics get the number 2 pick, number 14 pick, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Jeremy Sohan, and a 2030 first-round pick. That seems like a terrible deal for the Spurs, huh? Doesn't that seem like a horrific idea? A horrific trade? Number 2, number 14, and a future first. I mean, all of the players, I'm fine trading. I'm fine trading Vassell, Keldon Johnson, and Jeremy Sohan, honestly. But the number 2 pick, I'm only trading this pick for Giannis if I'm the Spurs. That's it. I mean, obviously, if like Jokic or something were available, but that's it. Realistic trade targets. Ace Bailey, 3rd overall. Pro comp, Brandon Miller, Michael Porter Jr., Rashard Lewis. So one of the things about Ace Bailey, I think he's going to be good. I think I have started looking at some of these guys, obviously not diving too deep, just watching, probably about 20 to 30 hours of film on each guy, not diving like too deep into it. I think he's going to be pretty good. And I like the defensive upside for him that sort of makes me feel a little bit safer. Trade idea. Interesting they had this because I was just thinking about something like this morning. The Sixers get KD and the Suns get the number 3 pick, Paul George, and a future first. This is something I think could happen. Now, if you're let's kind of walk through it. If you're the Sixers, why would you do this trade? Maybe you're not in like love with a guy number 3 overall, and you look at your team like, well, we have Maxey, we have Jared McCain, like we have young guys that we kind of feel good as like the centerpieces of our franchise moving forward. These young players. This Paul George contract is immediately one of the worst in all of basketball. We can get off of it and in return get KD. And now our team is, in theory, Embiid, which let's just lower our expectations for him. But even then, lowered expectations Embiid, Maxey, McCain, KD. Like that's a good team in a conference that might be fucking bad next year. And if you're the Suns, you get a top 3 pick that can just sort of jumpstart a future retooling, a future pick as well. And yeah, I got to absorb this shitty Paul George contract. And in this scenario, I'm now strapped with Bradley Beal and Paul George. But at least I have the number 3 overall pick. Yes, I have Paul George and Bradley Beal on my team. Paul George and the Suns deserve each other. They do kind of deserve each other. Ace Bailey has the most bust potential. He definitely has bust potential. Is there a trade for every team? Oh, that'd be fun if there's a trade for every pick. VJ Edgecombe to the Hornets. So I've seen mocks where VJ Edgecombe goes to the Sixers, kind of this more play finisher, defensive guy that fits a team like Philly a little bit more. I like Ace Bailey's fit with the Sixers. And then the thing is like, I would hate for Ace Bailey to go to the Hornets. Like, does that not seem like that would be a horrible destination for him. At least if Ace Bailey ends up on the Sixers, it's like, we need you to shoot. We need you to every now and then attack mismatches and closeouts. We're not asking much out of you, and defend. Like, we'll work on all that other stuff. But for the time being, let's hone in on making you just a good, solid NBA player. And then we can sort of tap into some of the stuff that gives you upside as a more elite NBA player. Who's up edging till they comb? Me. Andrew Wiggins, Oladipo, Amon Shumpert comparisons. The Oladipo comparisons feel pretty spot on. Trey Johnson. So this guy's getting some pretty big buzz. Pro comp, Tyler Hero. Nasty score. Landing on the Jazz, who need the Jazz I think just need anything really. Is there any more trade ideas? Okay, there are more trade ideas. Whoa, what the fuck is this Pelicans trade? All right, hold on. Jeremiah Fears to the Wizards. DeJounte Murray comp. Again, the Wizards are just kind of like, yeah, you've got young guys, but just draft who you think is the best player. Wizards need Queen. I don't think the Wizards need anyone. They just, whoever they feel is the best prospect, they should draft. Fears brings plenty of creativity and confidence, both of which could mold him into becoming a high-end lead guard with time. That's what the Wizards are in search of. Forever. All right, I got to get better at pronouncing this guy's name. Pelicans take Kaman Maluk. Is it Maluk? Maluak. Some people are stupidly high on this guy. Peace out, Philip. Pro comp, Derek Lively. Some people are stupidly high on him. Maluak. Trade idea. Pelicans get Kevin Durant. Why would KD sign off on that? Kevin Durant for the 7th overall pick, CJ McCollum, Kelly Olynyk, Jordan Hawkins, and a future first. Oh, 2 future firsts. Why am I doing that if I'm the Pelicans? KD on the Pels is insane. Yeah, what am I? First and foremost, if I'm Kevin Durant, why am I going to the Pelicans? So you're trading away CJ McCollum. All right, so I'm trying to think. You're trading away CJ, Kelly Olynyk, whatever, Jordan Hawkins, whatever. CJ, honestly, whatever. So our team is now, our starting 5 would be what? DeJounte. You could, I guess, go DeJounte, Murphy, Herb, KD. I'm not seeing the vision there. I don't know if I'm seeing the vision. If you're the Suns and you're trading Kevin Durant, you get the 7th overall pick, a future first, a first round swap with the Bucks that could be incredibly valuable. McCollum, whatever, Kelly O and Hawkins. We could do way worse than that. Colin Knippel to the Nets. Cam Johnson, Kevin Huerter, Corey Kispert, Sadiq Bey, pro comps. Yeah, I think he's just going to be solid as fuck NBA player, it seems like. I'm really just kind of looking for the trades because the trades are fun. Oh, here we go. Rockets, 10th overall. Trade idea. Sorry, I'm not giving up on Kelly Olynyk for an aging KD. Yeah. I agree with you there. Like Kelly Olynyk is such a glue guy, and I don't think people understand when you take glue out the equation, things fall apart. So I don't know about that. Here we go. Giannis and Pat Connaughton for the 10th overall pick. Al P, Reed Shepherd, Cam Whitmore, Jock Landale, and 2 future picks. A 28 first rounder from the Rockets, 27 from the Suns. Yeah, I mean, that's a haul. If you're the Bucks, that's pretty fucking good. You think you need more for him? 10th overall pick. Maybe it really depends on how you feel about Reed Shepherd and Cam Whitmore. If the Bucks are like, we don't like those guys. But that's not half bad. I'm gonna need at least 10,000. I'm taking Katie over Kelly every day of the week. I'm sorry. I don't know, man. That's a tough one. I'm not going to argue with you. Like, if you were to say, I'd rather have Kevin Durant than Kelly Olynyk, like, I'm not going to argue with you on that front. It's one of those things with me where it's so close in my mind. To each their own. But me personally, like, I get holding steady there. I missed the Kelly Stan chatter. Yeah, where's he been? Reed and Whitmore being second and third best players for a Giannis trade is so underwhelming. We just didn't see much of Reed Shepherd. Maybe the Bucks are like, we really like Reed Shepherd. We believe in him. So we're okay with that. Alperen Şengün could be a great player. Like this, in this scenario, I think you're like still kind of competitive. It's not the worst. Oh, here we go. Kasparas Jaconius. I'll get there with these players, I promise you. Trade idea. The Blazers, 11th overall. The Blazers get Cam Johnson for the 11th overall pick, Robert Williams, and a 2030 pick swap. That feels maybe a little rich. Do we have to do the pick swap is what I would ask. Do we have to do the 2030 pick swap? However, Jay is like a Y in his name. Kasparas Jaconius. I kind of like the idea of the Blazers being aggressive. I think they could be aggressive. They did it last year for Avdia. Do they go out and get like a Cam Johnson? Yaka Comis? Okay. So Cam Johnson gives him shooting, gives him size. With Avdia's resurgence, maybe you look at this and you say, with Avdia turning into the player that he's turned into, and with Toumani Camara blossoming into a player he's turned into, Trueness. Okay, all right. Well, I'll figure it out. Yaku Chonis, is that how I pronounce it? Do we need to make a play for a guy like Cam Johnson? You still have Jeremy Grant. That's true. I wouldn't hate this, though, for them. I'm liking the trades. Oh, here we go. Oh, I like this. This is just a trade up in the draft. The Bulls here at number 12. Colin Murray-Boyles. I've heard a lot of mixed things about this guy, I have to say. Trade idea. The Hawks get the 6th overall pick. And the Wizards get the 13th. Wait, what? Okay, this was supposed to be down here. The Hawks get the 6th overall pick, and the Wizards get number 13 and number 22. I mean, that would just depend on Wizards can't trade down? Why is that? They need upside? Yeah, but I can maybe get it if you're looking at it and you're saying, we don't see that big of a difference between 6 and 13. We don't see that big of a difference. Would you trade Gaff for a top 15 pick? Yeah, absolutely. Magic at 16. Jace Richardson, who, by the way, I'm out on. So small. But here's a trade idea. The Magic get Anthony Simons, and the Blazers get the 16th overall pick, Jonathan Isaac and Cole Anthony. That feels a little rich. I remember before the trade deadline, I think a lot of the Anthony Simons talk was like, it might just take seconds to get Anthony Simons. You're at $25 million. $27 million next season on an expiring. I'm not sure his value is like super high. I think if I'm the Blazers, I'm saying yes to this in a heartbeat, by the way. This is an easy yes if I'm Portland. An easy yes. Are we done with the trades? Oh, here we go. The Magic at 25. Orlando gets Cam Whitmore, and the Rockets get number 25 and Jet Howard. Huh. The Rockets just pull the plug on the Cam Whitmore experience. Just sort of reset that a little bit. Cam's going into year 3. This is a sicko trade right here. If you're done with Cam Whitmore, it's not that bad. Magic just kind of take a swing on a scoring guy. I'm kind of feeding for trades. Is there any more mock trades out there? Now, if we have mock trades in the second round, that's when you really get to sicko territory. Why would the Magic be done with Jet? I mean, he hasn't looked that great. Gafford to the Lakers. Should we end each stream from here on out cooking up some trades? Look a tad bit at Fanspo. Are we back on Fanspo? Have they fixed their salary cap shit? Guys, I'm kind of feeling giddy about looking at Fanspo. Well, who am I? Have I found my joy again? I have found my joy. Let's go. Cooper Flagg did change me. Come on now. How do I look again at posts? Trade proposals. Let's see. Let's go top in the last 24 hours. Derek White to the Warriors. I'm sure this is fair. Yeah, I'm sure this is a fair trade. Kuminga to the Celtics. Kuminga just does not scream a Boston Celtics to me. Like I cannot imagine Brad Stevens being like super in on being super in. How are they also getting Jovic in this trade? What is this? LMAO. A piece of shit because I'm a dumbass. Fanspo's back, baby. Fanspo's back. Trade idea. Vucevic to the Warriors. with Kuminga going to the Bulls in a sign and trade. So this one's actually like seems a little bit more realistic. I say you make your own trade. Hold on. Let me real quick. Let me see what people have been cooking up for the Mavs. Top this week. Let's see. Lakers Mavs do a reasonable trade post draft results. Gafford and PJ go to the Lakers, as does Lonzo, Javon Carter. Rui goes to the Bulls. So why? So immediately, why are the Bulls doing this? Yeah, the Bulls don't even need to be involved in this trade. Like, what are they doing this trade for? They're trading away Lonzo, who probably has some real value across the league, and also giving up second-round picks. To get Rui? Like, is that just a salary thing? But they literally just paid Lonzo. That's a horrible return for the Mavs. Reeves, Vando, Jordan Goodwin, 2028 second from the Bulls, and a future first from the Lakers for Gafford and PJ. Oh, wow. Look, Fanspo really did fix all of their shit. It tells you how close they are to the apron, all of that. That's nice. That's not the worst for the Mavs. That's not the worst for the Mavs. But yeah, the Bulls one doesn't make sense. I don't think the Bulls should even be involved in this. And I don't think they have to be. Lakers offseason. Here we go. Lakers offseason. Mavs get a point guard. I mean, these ones always confuse me. So you're signing all these players? Like, what am I? Okay. So Wiggins and Gafford to the Lakers. Plus $70 million. How does this work? How exactly does that work? Okay. They're also signing Brogdon to a minimum and Hayes to a minimum. Is that Clint Capella? Is that the biannual or is that the taxpayer mid-level? All right. Heat get Rui Hachimura, Maxi Kleba, and a first-round pick swap for Wiggins. Okay. The Mavs are getting Colin Sexton. So the Mavs get Colin Sexton and they give up Gafford, Hardy, in a second. That's it. Okay. I'm not sure. Okay. Well, the Jazz are getting a future Lakers pick in this scenario. It honestly isn't the worst. This isn't the worst trade I've seen. This was really not that bad. You see CBS Sports had a mock trade that PJ, Martin, Dwight, 29 and 32 first for Derek White. I did see that. Yeah. I mean, I would love Derek White. Dallas, OKC, Chicago deal. So the Thunder get PJ. Oh my Lord. Yeah, I would do this in a heartbeat. I would do something like this in a heartbeat. The Mavs are getting Kobe White for PJ, and that's all they're giving up. I would do that. With the addition of Cooper Flagg. I would do that. Can't hurt you if you're on the team. Exactly. But also PJ, oh yeah, dude. No, the Thunder don't do this. Ousmane Dieng, they got it there. He's untouchable. No. But Topic, but 3 firsts. One of them being a Utah first. Is that protected or something? A 24th overall pick this year and the Thunder's own pick in 26. Those are not very good picks. But a Utah one. 1 through 8 protected. Yeah, I think in this scenario, you probably have to get rid of this pick, and the Mavs would probably have to send a pick. Would be my guess. Cavaliers offseason plan. Well, I see Darius Garland on the Mavs, so let's see what this is all about. Let's see what's cooking here. The Mavericks are getting Darius Garland. Okay. How are we getting there? Jared Allen's on the Lakers. Okay, so the Cavs are just blowing up their entire team. All right. Klay Thompson's on the Kings along with Jaden Hardy and a Lakers first-round pick. Dwight Powell's on the Raptors? No, this can't happen. Can't happen. Nope. DeAndre Hunter's on the Raptors. So the Cavs are just completely... What is this 2K ass? The Cavs have completely blown up their team. RJ, Rui, PJ, Jonas Valanciunas, and Keon Ellis are all now part of the Cleveland Cavaliers. So they've lost. They're basically replacing Garland with RJ. Oh, man, no, this is bad for the Cavs. This is bad for Cleveland. The Mavs are getting Darius Garland for PJ, Klay, and a first. Okay, I'm in on that. Yeah, I mean, in this scenario, the Lakers are only giving up Rui and one pick for Jared Allen. I'm so sure. I'm so sure. White to Dallas. Is this fair? Let's see. Derek White to the Mavs. Hardy and picks to the Nets. Just for salary cap stuff. Could see the Nets doing shit like this. Celtics get Gafford, Christie, and okay, a 29 swap, which the Mavericks already are swapping with the Rockets, so that swap's just going to be a swap. The Lakers pick in the 2031 first. God. I would love Derek White on this team. If Derek White were like 29, or not 29, like 26, I would say fuck it. But that's just like, that's a little too rich for my blood. It's a little too rich for my blood. I would love Derek White on this team. Oh, I would love it. Oh, you guys have no idea how much I would love it. Win. Oh, God, Marcus Smart on the Mavs. Mavs trade Caleb Martin and Gafford for Marcus Smart. Where's the win there for Dallas? That's a huge loss. That's a horrible fucking trade for Dallas. From Luka is the best. Okay. All right, that makes sense. I mean, it's a huge win for the Wizards. I'm trading away Marcus Smart and getting a 2031 first. Like, wait. I'm the Mavs. I'm saying, why the fuck am I not getting that pick? Why are the Wizards getting that pick? Why am I not getting that pick? This is a horrific trade. It's close. No, it isn't. Oh, I must be logged in. Hold up. I have an account on here. Let me log in. I forgot what my login was, though. Is it through my Twitter? All right, here we go. Hold up. Let's look at what was our community draft last year? Sar, Ricochet, Bazulis. Oh, hey, we were kind of cooking there. Ron Holland, Klingon, Reed Shepard, Cody Williams. That ended up being pretty high. Oh, I didn't put the names. Who did I have? Steph Castle 10th to the Jazz. It's a good pick. You cooked with the Knicks. Terrence Shannon Jr. and Baylor Shireman. You know, great character guy, sneaky athletic, someone you want to bring home to your mother, and he could shoot. There you go. Dude, we did... Oh, Otto. I was about to say, there's no way we did a second round. You drafted Cody Williams? Cody Williams, Jeremy Grant replacement because he's getting traded to Dallas. Oh, well, there you go. What was this Raptors? What's happening there? Brody 32. Hey, Isaiah Collier to the Jazz. Got that right. All right, now let's cook up some trades. Let's chef up something real quick. Just to wrap up today's stream. Let's chef up something. An AD trade? Mavs get Kobe White. Let's chef up something. How can the Mavs get Kobe White? I think there's actually like a real legitimate possibility it could happen. Are we doing just Mavs related trades? No, we'll be cooking up shit in the trade machine for weeks. For weeks. I would love Kobe White. Andrew Nimhard, no, the Pacers aren't letting him go. Let's just go. I'm not going team by team, but like I'm trying to think what guards could be available that people aren't talking about. That you could just be like, oh shit, that guy was available. Would you rather Derek White or Kobe White on the Mavs? Well, I mean, Derek White's just way better. Anthony Black? They would want something like pretty significant in return. Lonzo? I'm trying to think of some guards. I'm just looking up and down these rosters. What guards could be sneaky available? How about let's just try to concoct a Kobe White trade. Who I do think I've kind of gone back and forth on this. I absolutely think he could be available. He's on one of the cheaper contracts and one of the better contracts in the league, $12 million a year. But next year is the final year of that deal. And he's going to get paid. And maybe the Bulls look at that and say, yeah, we can't, we're going to pay Giddey. Like, let's get something in return here. Now, I think there's a pathway here where Gafford's involved in the trade. Not sure the Bulls would be all that interested, unless they trade Vucevic somewhere else, in which case maybe they could be interested in bringing Gafford in. Could be. Why wouldn't they try to make the playoffs in the weak East with Gideon White? Well, maybe you're just trying to maximize return on Kobe White right now while you can. Technically bringing Gafford back. That's right. Where he started his career. 3-team trade with Mavs, Spurs, and Bulls. What's a PJ Washington landing space? Because I think there's a 4-team trade scenario here where the Mavs could try and land Kobe White for not giving up like the picks that I thought could be required. OKC, like what? I haven't even thought about a PJ Washington destination, and I don't even think he's gonna get traded. And this feels fucked up, but it's a possibility. Just so happy that the first trade we're cooking up is a 4-teamer. Yep. We're going right into it, baby. We're not fucking around. The Grizzlies. PJ to the Lakers. Okay, maybe we don't go PJ. I agree. Maybe we don't go PJ. Look, a trade that's in my mind that I think could happen, and maybe it's a little too rich even. I'm not entirely sure. But I always like to go a little bit richer in mock trades just because, these things usually cost money. Is Gafford to the Lakers, whatever contract, Rui or whatever contract is required. Rui, would you rather have Rui or Vando? I'd rather just have the expiring. Rui to the Bulls, Kobe White to the Mavs, and then whatever pick the Mavs feel comfortable trading. Tony 31 first. Maybe you protect it. Maybe you're protecting a top 5 pick or something like that. Let's just say that. To the Bulls. And then this Lakers pick. Maybe they protect it. I don't know. To the Bulls. So the Bulls are getting 2 picks in this. Bulls should give us a pick for Gafford. The Lakers are getting their center. The Mavs are getting a guard. I don't think the Lakers do that. Yeah, that is kind of also where I'm at. Would the Lakers give up a pick? But in this scenario, like people have been mocking the Reeves thing. In this scenario, you're just giving up a first for a very good center that plays really well alongside Luka. I don't think Lakers do Rui in a pick. Really? Rui on an expiring? But the thing about the timelines is if you like Kobe White, he's 25. 2 first for Kobe is insane, man. That's the thing is I have no clue what his value is going to be on the market. Next to none. How do teams view him? Do you see someone who 2 years in a row has been incredible? Just average 20 White's a rental? I mean, the rentals don't what does a free agent market look like for Kobe White? And I think in a scenario like this, you're trading for White and extending him. You want to pay him? Why wouldn't I want to pay him if I'm the Mavs? I think I'd feel comfortable paying him. I mean, he's not getting a max. He can he can be the guard for my team while Kyrie's out. Can those two play together? I'm not entirely sure about that. He's not getting peanuts in it either. You're married to him through the window. Yeah, but I mean, they're gonna have to trade for a guard either way. So you're gonna have to get a guard. That's a mandatory requirement for the Mavericks this offseason. You have to get a guard. That's not up for debate. And he needs to be a good one. If you're wanting to compete for a championship, it has to be a good one. This is the gap year with Kyrie injury and Cooper rookie year. You can get a cheaper bench option. If the Mavericks view this year as a gap year, you need to be fielding every single phone call you get about Anthony Davis. If the Mavericks view this season as a gap year, you need to be fielding phone calls for Anthony Davis. Kobe Buffkin, stay with me now. What if we do try to get Darius Garland? So that one's interesting to me because, okay, not even really worth discussing because it's not going to fucking happen. Why would the Cavs trade Darius Garland? But okay, Darius Garland and Mavs. So am I paying Kyrie in this scenario? Because if I am, what the hell is that backcourt? You were worried about a defensive backcourt with Luka and Kyrie. Now I'm bringing it's Darius Garland and Kyrie. Would the Spurs do a trade centered around AD and Castle if they don't want to pay the full Giannis price? There's no point in doing an AD trade. They're not going to trade him. Like, they're just not going to do it. At very least, not this summer. Maybe if next year goes weird, maybe next summer. But they're not trading him this. Like, there's no point of even having this conversation. No, there's genuinely no point in having this conversation. You're looking at guards. You're looking at, look, I'm not doing Drew. I'm not doing it. $32 million. There's no fucking way. No way am I doing Drew. Like, maybe you pony up and pay Derek White. If I'm the Celtics, I'm not trading Derek White. I'm just not. I'm trying my hardest to keep him. The Knicks will not be trading a guard, and they really don't have a guard. The Pacers are not trading them hard. That would be stupid on their end. They're not doing it. They'll make a move in the offseason, if I had to guess, just because they probably need to. Keep in mind the Mavs are a second apron team with the Flagg contract. Yeah, they're gonna make moves to try and shed some salary. That's gonna happen. Sexton. So think Cole Anthony. What would that cost? What do you have that could interest the Magic? I'd make some arguments that the Magic need a guy like Gafford in some ways. All signs point towards Ben Simmons. I'd argue that could be a trade. Cole Anthony would be underwhelming, but I'm not going to lie. Cole Anthony's on an expiring. No, he's got $13 million. That's probably we know that the Mavericks view their sort of bench wing guys in the $8 million range. We know that for a fact. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for guys in that area to be around $8 million. If I just had to guess, I would say $12 million for a backup guard around full mid-level. That would be my guess, is what they're looking at price-wise. If they're going above that, then it's a big sizable trade and they're going to want a lot. Don't they already have Goga, Mo Wagner, and Carter Jr. as viable centers, though? Gafford's immediately the best in that bunch. Wendell is just... Ugh. Chicago receives Cody Martin, 27th pick. Brooklyn receives Jaden Hardy. Dallas receives Lonzo Ball. Why the fuck are the Nets doing that? Giving up a first-round pick for Hardy? Would you trade for Nick Smith? I can't sit here and say that I've watched enough Hornets games to be like super in on Nick Smith, but I mean, maybe. Maybe. Is there a sneaky... No, there's no Harden scenario. There's no Harden scenario. We can't get there with Harden. What about Davion Mitchell? Davion Mitchell is an interesting one. I think the problem here is you have to find a guy who can like kind of carry your offense for a little bit. And Davion Mitchell's just not, he's not that guy. That's why you look at like a Sexton, you look at a Sexton, you look at a Kobe White, you squint and you see Cole Anthony, like someone who's just like, all right, that guy can give me like 20 points in a game. CJ McCollum, 30 million is just hard to get to. PJ for Scottie Pippen Jr. What's up with PJ to the Grizzlies? Did I miss something? So Monk's an interesting one, actually. 18 million. I feel like that's just kind of tough for the Kings because who the fuck's going to be your lead guard next year then? But there's a possibility Monk is not happy there. Like what does a Malik Monk trade look like? PJ's fit there is wonky. They don't need Gafford. Monk for Najee and Christie. I could see the Kings liking Max Christie. Shooter who can play some defense. So would it be Najee and Christie and picks for Monk? They're getting Fred VanVleet. I'm out on them trading for any big contract guy because I think it's going to be so fucking complicated. I think it's going to be so like the Mavs trying to get to 44 million is like next to impossible. What about Jalen Green? I mean, Jalen Green's at 30. The Jalen Green one would have to be something like, let's get sicko. Let's get sicko. All right, Giannis, boom, I want to get traded. All right, we'll trade you to the Rockets. Fine. All right, Rockets say, I mean, I'm just imagining this scenario. Rockets say, yeah, we're not doing Şengün. It's going to be Jalen Green. And the Bucks are like, yeah, fuck it, whatever. Fine. But the Bucks say, we don't want Jalen Green, though. Some other team needs to come and get him. The Mavs say, oh, hey, we need a guard. All right. Dude, this is disgusting. Okay, fine. Jalen Green goes to the Mavs. So who's going where? Who else is going where? Who else is going where? Giannis is on the Rockets. You'd have to go to get to 33. Let's just say Gafford goes to the Bucks. Hey, you know what? You want to get extra sick? All right, here. Let's actually get extra sick. The Lakers are involved in this trade. And they're so desperate for a center that we're going to send Gafford to the Lakers. And they say, you know what? We're done with the Reeves shit. Reeves to the Bucks. And the Bucks say, all right, we'll take Reeves as sort of like a centerpiece. Right? Reeves and Reed Shepherd. We're getting lunch pail guys to the Bucks. And do we need anything else? We need one more contract, I think, from the Rockets for this to work. How about all right, how about Jabari? Okay. Where else does this go? Where else do we have to get to? And then PJ? You know what? Let's get even sicker. Let's throw the Grizzlies in here. The Grizzlies want PJ, I guess, is what people are saying. How do they even get there? Who are they trading? No, the Grizzlies can't be involved. You watched all 7 games on playback. You make a Jalen. You guys told me to do a Jalen Green package. You guys told me to do a Jalen Green package. All right, and then what? PJ to the Bucks. Does this? Okay, let's just see if this works contractually. The Mavs need to get rid of another contract, I think. Okay. Hardy to the Bucks. Fuck it. This actually works contractually. And obviously picks. This is the most sick thing that's ever been produced. I'm sorry that I just had to subject you guys to this. This is the most disgusting, sickening thing that's ever been concocted. But you guys asked for it. Yeah, if I'm the Mavs in this scenario, I'm saying, hold on a second. Reeves is involved in this trade. I just Gafford for Lakers. Let's do a private phone call. Slightly, I just took Brad Stevens' job. I'm calling and offering you Pritchard for Max and a first. For Max Christie? Pritchard? I'm saying yes to that. Would you guys do that? I'm saying yes to that. Pritchard, I would do it. I would do Max Christie and a first for Pritchard. I know that sounds crazy, but I would do it 100%. Yeah, Boston wouldn't do that. They need unironically, Pritchard has now become such an important piece to their puzzle. Like Pritchard is the well, not really, because Pritchard wanted this. Remember, Pritchard demanded a trade. Pritchard has become the my job. I just became very important at my job. That's Pritchard now moving forward. Yeah, wow. Pritchard's contract, $6 million, $7 million, $7 million, $8 million. Wow. That's going to look very good. That takes him until he's 31, by the way. That's a hell of a contract. You want to know what scares me, though? Let me tell you a scenario that scares me. What does a smart trade look like for the Mavs? This is my biggest nightmare scenario. Is smart. However, I do think there's a scenario in which you could get a pick in return for this or something. Maybe not from the Wizards, but in like a 3-team type of scenario. Like, I'm trying to think of Paul with the $2. Quit willing stuff into being a la Woods. I mean, I'm just looking around, and Smart feels like the Mavs could look at that and be like, 1 year. We're not like that tied to it. I'm excited to be back on Fanspo. I am. You want to know what I'm going to do? And you guys can hold me to this. We'll do a stream here in the near future, maybe even later this week. Because I'm not realizing, like, I'll be leaving for Europe in like a month. So it's like kind of go time. You know? Like, we're approaching go time for the offseason stuff for me. It's always hard because, like, you're focused on the... You're focused on the offseason or the postseason. I think I want to do a stream where we sit down and we look at every single team and we're like, how can the Mavs make a trade? Like, who on this team can the Mavs make a trade for? I'll miss the draft, yes. Like, I'm trying to think. All right, Smart. Smart to the Mavs. Gafford. Would the Wizards want Gafford? Probably not. But hey, maybe. Depends on what they do in the draft, right? What pick do they have again? They could draft the Duke kid. I'm not even close to being able to say his name. The Duke kid. Hey, maybe they don't draft him and maybe like, hey, you know what? We kind of need a center. Can he be traded back? Yeah, it's been over a year. Maluak is how you say it? All right, Maluak. Think Gafford was glad not to be losing on the Wizards anymore. Yeah, but they're getting better. Maluak. All right, I'll get there, I promise. Is there another Gafford destination? Like, we're just hammering Gafford Lakers. Is there another destination for Gafford? I mean, it's like a seamless fit. Atlanta. Yeah, Atlanta's interesting, especially with Capella. Suns, yeah, but how do the Suns even get there? What do the Suns even have to trade in that scenario? Nuggets, yeah, but I mean, how do they even get there? Hawks is kind of interesting. Could the Mavs get another could Hawks don't have to send out salary? Is that right? Is that right? Well, there'd have to be salary going somewhere, though. So Gafford to the Hawks. Using the DeJounte trade exception, the Mavs get Marcus Smart and maybe a pick in this draft. And maybe we'll just throw like a second or some seconds or some shit to the Hawks for just being involved in the trade. To the Wizards, I meant. No, that doesn't work. Oh, the Mavericks are taking on way more money. That's right. Marcus Smart's making $21 million. It does work for the Hawks. How the fuck do the Hawks have so much money? Kings desperately need a real big next to Sabonis. Caleb Martin. Can we pawn him off? And the Mavs can actually end up saving some money in this trade. I say pawn off. That's a little mean, but I always kind of felt like the Mavs got Caleb Martin to trade him. Like, that's always kind of how I felt. The Mavs end up saving some money in this trade. The Wizards get probably a few extra seconds just to be involved in this trade. The Hawks get a center for free, basic for a 22nd overall pick. Wizards need more? I don't think so. I mean, Marcus Smart, what the fuck is it? He's played, 30 games the last 2 years? Is this a good trade? I'm looking at it from the Mavs side. I'm like, Marcus Smart is a no for me. Truth be told, he's old. He doesn't play anymore, and I think he stopped being good like 3 years ago. But you are getting a pick here. But it's a 22nd overall pick. You're swinging for the fences. They did do something very similar like to this with Rashawn Holmes, by the way. The Mavs did. Let's I mean, I don't know. Maybe they could trade the Wizards. Trade the Wizards. I don't know. Wizards just get some second rounders for their time. Get you off some money. Mavs get off some money. Gives you some breathing room. This is a trade I could see happening is the thing. What's the best guard we can get by packaging Gaff and PJ without giving up a pick? So I think there's a world where you could land like a Kobe White in that scenario. But it would have to be like a 4-team trade where you're basically rerouting picks that have been given to you. Because I think there's teams out there that'll probably give up a first for PJ. You can get AR for PJ and Gaff for sure. So what are some teams that could give up a first for PJ, you think? We think hold on, let me save this trade. Down the line down the line whenever I need these for like a Bleacher Report stream or something. Let me save these. You always got to look at it through the lens of like a... You got to look at these through the lens of like 3-team trades usually. OKC. The thing about OKC is they're about to be a very expensive roster. And so you have to pay PJ. Magic. PJ does fit for every team, but it's going to have to be a team that thinks they're like kind of a PJ away, if that makes sense. Could the Pistons be interested in a guy like PJ? How about the Heat? Like a real legitimate 4 to play next to Bam? I'm also trying to think about teams that are like, yeah, we're cool with paying PJ. We're okay with it. We can do it. I mean, they had Cam Johnson mock trade Cam Johnson to the Blazers. Pistons. What contracts do they have to dangle around, though? That's the thing. The Pistons don't have, like... They still have money, though. So I'm thinking a trade like... All right, Gafford to the Lakers. PJ to the Pistons. Kobe White to the Mavs. Lakers are sending a future first to the Bulls in this scenario. The Pistons, what's their pick situation? I don't think the Pistons have like hoarded a bunch of picks though, unless I'm wrong. Next year's first for PJ? Do the Pistons do this? I kind of don't think the Pistons would do this, to be honest with you. Top 14 protected. All right, how about just like a top 5 protected next year pick? Trade to the Bulls. We got to get money. Money keep coming in. I can't lose. We'll trade Vincent. No, it's gotta be Rui. Rui to the Bulls. And can the Pistons just absorb this? Does this work financially? No, they can't. No, the Pistons can't even come close to absorbing that. That was this year, right? Where they could absorb. So some other contract has to go to the Mavs. Fontecchio. Hey, gross. That does work. That surprisingly does work. Mavs save some money. Lakers get their big. Pistons get PJ. Bulls get a couple firsts for Kobe White. Let's not dwell on this. Mavs get at least one of those picks. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Gafford and PJ. Tough. I don't know what Kobe White's value is. That's what's just so hard about a Kobe White trade. I don't know what his value is. Yeah, I agree. I don't know if I like this for the Mavs, really. You're still alive? Yeah, but not for long. I can't believe we rambled. This is why I try to steer clear of Fanspo. Keep Gaff because Lively always gets injured. The problem is, though, is it's like Gafford is going to get paid, and he deserves to. That's what the problem is. How much we think? I don't know. But the thing is the Mavs are already like knocking on the door of the second apron. So it's like there's no world in which you can pay Gafford and keep him. It just there's not a world in which it exists. You're going to have to extend PJ. We're a second apron team already. Yeah, but they can maneuver to get under that, and I don't think they're going to want to be in the second apron. This is going to be interesting. If you're listening to this on Spotify, leave a 5-star review. I love you. Interesting. That was 2 hours and 41 minutes. Holy fuck. Michael Malone is joining ESPN's coverage for the Western Conference Finals. So there you go. $80 mocks next time. Do we just come out swinging Wednesday? Do we go for it on Wednesday? There's a big fanspo day. A lot of teams seem like they're going to try and cut salary this offseason, which presumably means there are a bunch of teams lining up to take salary. I'm not sure about that second thing. Yeah, that's a good point as well. Is in today's time with the apron and stuff, like I think if you're a young team, and even let's just say you are in a position to take salary, maybe you look at your situation and you're like, well, what happens if like we're better than expected and all of a sudden we have all these shitty ass contracts? Damn. Community mock draft would be fire. We do that every year. We're going to do that again this year. And I'm going to take the Mavs. Just because it's easy. I'm about to start cooking on Fanspo. About to start cooking because the offseason trades are more fun. In the regular season, it's like, all right, which team needs to get under the tax? Like offseason is the day. The world is your oyster. All right, love you guys. Hold on, let me do my outro. I always forget. Almost forgot. All right, folks, thank you all for tuning in. All the OGs, you guys know I love you very much. Could have spent your Monday morning anywhere in the world. You decided to spend it here. New subscribers, I promise you guys will not regret it. Donations, members, thank you guys so much. You never have to do that, but it helps me out tremendously. Makes me feel so good. You guys enjoy the rest of your Monday. I will see you all tomorrow night for game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. We'll be live for that. And, yeah. Thank you all for tuning in. Love you guys. Chat with you all later. Bye.